You're listening to a Monster Kid podcast.
How will we know for...
All right, well, they can hear us now. I had to stop you right away.
Hopefully, I wanted to know.
They can hear us now. If there is a they, there's nothing in the chat, so
Yeah.
we could be talking to no one. But hello, and welcome to Random Movie Roulette. I'm Lewis.
I'm the amazing Spider Mike, too.
And I'm Jack.
Yes, and you know what? The Amazing Spider Mike 2 is not that wordy of a name. It sounds like it's really wordy when you don't think about it, but when you really think about it, it's not that wordy. Hey, Cody and Jordan in the chat. Theirs is a they. I don't know what that means, but that is from Jordan.
I guess he's saying that there is a they that is in the chat. Like, there are people in there, and he is one of them.
Oh, God. I don't have that. I don't remember 3 minutes ago. All right. Well, we watched The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh, did we?
This was my host picks.
And this poster was also your host pick
Yes,
as well. This-
yeah.
The best poster, because it shows
That
up...
I know.
The best character in this is definitely Paul Giamatti as the Rhino. His breakout performance. He was a small...
He was an underrated guy. Fred Claus was about the biggest thing he'd done at this point.
He was the Fred Claus guy, but then he landed this sweet part, and
The coveted role of Spider-Man's most well-known villain.
right, he was the star of The Amazing
The fact
Spider-Man
that he's
2.
on, like, this poster, that,
Yeah.
which, like, the bigger version of this poster also has the Green Goblin and
Yeah,
Electro.
there's a
like,
reason why the title of the movie's not
Yeah.
on this poster.
If we're including all the supervillains in this poster, I don't know why BJ Novak is not there.
Also, Cody, I'm so with you. Fred Claus is a banger of a movie. I fucking stand by that. I really, really do. It's a good, fun fucking movie. So yeah, I genuinely love his performance in this, and I unironically still really, really, really enjoy it. I think he's so much fucking fun and so fucking stupid. It's great. Which is, I guess, as far as this movie goes, reputation-wise, kind
A
of makes
good
sense.
way to describe it.
Yeah. I like it a bit more than the average person. I get that. I know I'm on the wrong side of history. You guys seem to have the
educated
standard reaction to it. Before we go any further, why don't we watch the trailer? Yeah, see how much is going on for him? I mean, now you do.
everything.
Peter Parker, Harry Osborn.
Didn't this have one of those marketing campaigns where it just showed you the whole thing?
Well, yeah, this and the first movie.
Yeah.
And, hey, I think in this trailer, they show her dropping off the
Yep.
building. Like what do you think's
scene.
gonna happen when
Yeah.
you see the movie? Like,
Just the wrist, just on the wrist, buddy. Peter, you're gonna want to see this. Oscorp.
and you...
The unzips.
Why? Isn't that the question of the day?
Yeah, that wasn't in the movie. They were
Nothing.
putting him under
That's
surveillance.
I once told you that
So much
secrets
of this
have a cost. The truth does too.
My name is
Except for
Richard
all that
Parker.
stupid shit. That's really in there, believe it or not.
Oscorp was going to use my research for.
What is all this?
The future. We have plans for you, Peter Parker.
No one says that to him in the whole movie.
No.
Need a hand?
Now you gotta pay the price.
We have the power now. We can change the world.
Then let's go catch a spider.
I made a choice.
Remember dramatic choirs.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
This is bigger than you, Peter.
I'm the only one who can stop them. I'm Spider-Man.
There he is. And the hour. I like this movie.
Oh wow, they didn't even hide the
coming with
green
you.
goblins.
It's too dangerous.
No.
That was the whole
Sorry, I
fight.
love you. Don't hate me.
Yeah. No, it's the whole movie beginning to end.
That is the end of the movie right here.
This is the last shot of the movie. Yep. Yeah, that was like that was the worst that like showing the whole trailer in the movie ever got. Like that is the worst example of it I've ever seen. It is beat for beat, and they go in order. It's crazy. They reveal the whole thing. Mark H says, "I didn't see this movie in theaters because I shit you not, someone spoiled Gwen Stacy died in a Facebook post I stumbled upon." And that made you just be like, well, now I don't need to watch the movie. I mean, the trailer just showed you her dying. It was pretty clear.
Well, I think one thing that I had mentioned when we were watching this that I gave it credit for, and that maybe would have surprised people when they watch this, is just that they had the balls to actually kill her, quote unquote. That they actually went for that in what was most likely marketed to children.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think that the scene goes over well. This is really, really a bizarre thing to say, but like I'm like a fan of the story where Gwen Stacy dies, and I'm a fan of like what that does to Spider-Man. So I was really excited to see that play out. I wasn't expecting a clock tower so much to be the thing,
bridge.
but I guess Spider-Man. Raimi's Spider-Man had that iconic throwing litter at the Green Goblin scene of the bridge, so they didn't want to like fuck with that. That's the stupidest thing. Come on,
You mess with Spidey, you mess with New York.
you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us.
To be fair, the New Yorkers also helped him beat the lizard in the movie.
That's
before
true,
this.
and some of the New Yorkers turned into lizards. Kind of. I watched that movie
Almost
last
turned
night.
into lizards. Almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank God we avoided that.
We avoided lizard cops. How bad would that have been?
Lizard cocks.
We saw a couple of lizard cocks over on Patreon.
Yeah. If you want to watch us watch the porn for this movie, we looked up the Amazing Spider-Man 2 porn.
Doesn't really exist.
It does more than I was expecting, admittedly. Like
Yeah.
there's pretty convincing Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone boning images
Well,
out
like
there.
Rule 34, but no
no
strict video
videos.
parody. Yeah.
No Brazzers stuff. And Jordan points out New Yorkers also help Spidey in Spider-Man 2 after the train fight.
Yes.
That's true, yeah. They carried his
and in
corpse.
Amazing Spider-Man 2, New Yorkers just stand around stupidly when
every
danger
every
is
time
nearby.
crime happens, they put up barricades only for people to press themselves up against them to watch what's happening.
And shout and cheer for
Push-
Spidey and boo
Yeah.
anyone
To
else.
push themselves up against metal barricades while he's fighting an electric man.
It's pretty crazy the reality they create here. Like imagine if that happened in the MCU. Like every time if like people were just trying to get closer to the action to see what's going on. I guess realistically there would be people who are like, I want to see that shit.
S.H.I.E.L.D. would pay for
That's
Captain
happening.
America to make a PSA to say, "Remember, kids, run away."
Yeah, but they set it up like it's like a Times Square photo op or
Yeah.
Ask me for a
Get
picture.
your picture taken with
after
Spider-Man.
I beat the bad guy. So yes, I went to this movie liking it. You guys not so much. My opinion hasn't changed. I'm assuming you guys.
Also hasn't changed.
I will say it's changed for like at least like not that I liked it more, but I'm not as
God
like
forbid.
I guess when at the time that this movie had come out, I think I was like a little bit more angry at it because it was like the aggressiveness of the marketing campaign, the mediocrity of the last movie, and then like
And this was the Spider-Man that we got. Like
and it was like
that
the
sucks.
very clear corporate cynicism that really you could kind of just see through both these movies. It really like really made me like bitter towards the series, and I'm just like, and especially in comparison to like in 2014 we had Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, and X-Men: Days of Future Past, which were like examples of like comic book movies that were like taking superheroes into a new direction and making interesting stories with them. And then in comparison to this, it just really made this one feel like so much more conventional and lazy by comparison.
Yeah.
But I think now, like, having been so far removed from
the
that,
rage isn't there.
I'm like, it's especially because nothing came after this. Because that was the rage at the time where it's like, I don't want to see another movie in this series. I don't want to see this like shared universe that they're setting up. And now this is the last thing that happens, so none of that ended up coming to fruition. So now you see all the shit that they set up in this, and it's like it's kind of sad. Like you feel like you're like,
and I like it,
but yeah, it's like you feel like you're kicking a wounded puppy by making fun. It's like,
If-
they never even got to.
If you cut the Richard Parker stuff out of this and like whatever weird Oscorp interfighting that there is, you would have actually a solid 1-2 punch of movies that I would probably respect a little more, but because of all the trying to set shit up, it's just like taints it so much.
I will.
it's bizarre, and like things like they clearly had no intention of paying off, or at least an idea of how to pay it off. Like by the time we get to the man in the hat who's just like walking around,
Oh,
it is
boy.
really painful.
Yeah, it's like, who was that supposed to be? Because I remember at the end of the first movie, didn't they hint that was Norman Osborn?
Yeah, that's what I thought they were hinting, at least. I guess it didn't ultimately matter. I'm going to change the episode title while you guys do, because I forgot to do that this time. Thank you,
And then,
Cody.
and then also the other thing with this, because again, with the first movie, like they're trying to set up like who are his parents and like as like this big mystery, and we saw even in the trailer like they're making it seem like a big dramatic, like there's a conspiracy and they're keeping secrets from it, and it's like when you go to the movie,
There's no conspiracy.
yeah,
in
there's
this
like nothing.
movie.
It's like the main issue with like this series is like it's trying to like set itself apart from Sam Raimi's movies, but it's also just kind of following the exact same formula.
It
as
has
them.
a massive identity crisis. It clearly at every term like doesn't know what to be, but I don't know if that's because of like I definitely don't blame Mark Webb for what went wrong here. It seems like it was mainly studio meddling. There seem to be so many cooks in this kitchen, and it really feels like it. Like there's just the ideas don't feel cohesive. Like they don't mesh together to make a
Poor
a solid
Shailene
thing.
Woodley had a whole performance cut.
Yeah, like a lot of footage, like 30
and
minutes of footage.
and yeah,
is
speaking
important.
of that, this cast is filled with the most 2014 people.
Oh
Dane
yeah.
DeHaan, Felicity
Andrew Garfield.
Jones.
What does Andrew Garfield do now? Is he still in things?
What was he in? Was he in
I don't
Hacksaw
know.
Ridge? How long? That was like I don't know
Yeah.
how
I
long
don't
ago
know.
that was.
2018?
Come on a journey with us. Let's find out.
2016. Hacksaw Ridge was 2016.
So yes, he was in. Was he nominated for that?
Yeah, it's a terrible performance.
Is
by
he
the
in
way.
Death
Never
on the
seen it.
Nile? Or no?
Oh,
Oh, did they release a
God.
trailer for Death on
Yeah.
the Nile? God.
Let's see. Oh, he's got some shit under the Silver Lake, which I haven't seen.
Okay, yeah.
So he hasn't been
Which
in
got
anything
delayed
since
for
that.
like 2 years, so it was like
Yeah, that was like a 2016 thing, really.
Mm.
Mainstream, he's in
Yeah.
The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Instrumental, and Tick Tick Boom.
yeah. See, these are like movies that like you're
I don't know.
like some Disney
I-
Channel star would star, and like you went from being Spider-Man, and now, well, I mean, I guess
To be
Tobey
fair,
Maguire
Disney Channel
also.
stars go into Spider-Man.
I don't know.
movies,
These are future movies. I have no idea what any of these are.
Yeah.
That could be reasonable. I never loved him. I liked him in that one. What was that movie? Never Let Me Go. Do you guys like Never Let Me Go?
Never seen it.
I think I saw. I remember thinking it was.
Oh,
okay.
Mike, I
It
would
was
think
like,
you would really
Yeah,
like
it was
it.
like.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like your.
Yeah,
kind of
I will
shit.
say that I think that like I don't know. I think his performance in these movies, I'm like, I don't know. There's just something that's just it feels just so phony about him. Like when he's
so
like
disgustingly British.
yeah, like when he's like trying to be like cool and relatable and funny, I'm like he just comes across as being like so cringy. Like
Yeah.
I don't buy him as like charismatic lead. And then I think it bleeds into like whenever I see him in later movies, like when like in like serious movies he's supposed to be like Hacksaw Ridge and Silence. I'm like, you're just kind of like still like some twerp. Like
He does this really weird thing in these movies where whenever he's on screen with Emma Stone, and I do think they have chemistry, but he's always like looking like he's trying to kiss her. He talks very breathy. He's like this. He's like, yeah, go on. I really like. We need to figure out what's going on with the lizard. But he's like tilting his head and turning it, and like getting really close to her. Like he's just like looking for a way to kiss her the whole time. And I find it so uncomfortable and so distracting. All of it was way worse in the first movie than in this one. Again, I just watched it, so I'm getting the mix up a bit. But it really bothered me in this a lot. They're always like about to kiss.
and
That's
it's also
just
because like again, I like the chemistry between the two of them. It's like I guess it's like Emma Stone is a good enough job at like seeming like real and stuff, but like again, I feel like he's just kind of like forcing it a little too much. Like it's and all like the shitty like ad lib stuff of like them doing cute things like, oh, you didn't get the Bahamas of closets.
Of
It's like
hiding
I'm like,
places.
what are you
I
even
thought
saying?
it was
This
cute.
is
I don't know. I mean, the whole thing is that it feels like kind of like candid and off guard. Like it's not like a weird scripted Hollywood thing. It's
I
like
also
a nice
feel like
little-
No, but
that's
it's
just
weird.
like
It goes
her
from- good.
acting
it goes
style.
from scripted scene, like a scripted line of dialogue before, and then it's like cuts to like now just ad lib and like act cute and stuff,
Be
and it just
cute
kind of
and
feels
funny
really
and off
Yeah,
book.
I mean, okay, fair enough.
Which I think-
it does kind of like switch on you.
Yeah, I think that's just her though, also, and just
Yeah.
how she operates.
Do you not like Emma Stone?
I like Emma Stone, but I'm just saying that performance is similar to every other Emma Stone
do you or
performance
do you
I've
not
ever
like
seen.
Emma Stone?
I like
Are
Emma
you
Stone.
on the board with me here? Are we on the same side? We have some more comments.
Some Emma Stone haters.
Cody says, honestly, I'd love to read the screenplay to Aunt May spy film.
That was
That's
another
so
thing we were,
good.
and that's
Super
another thing
pass
we
up.
were
Yeah.
we were joking about while we were watching this movie,
Yeah.
and another
That-
reason why this movie felt like so like I guess like entrenched in the culture at the time because they were playing in so many fucking Spider-Man movies. It was like not only in this movie where it's like we're gonna get the Sinister Six movie, there's Black Cats in the movie, we're gonna have the third movie, and then it's like we gotta have Aunt May as a super spy. It's like nobody wants all
Any
of
of
this
that shit. Yeah.
Aunt
Sorry, we
May-
have fireworks going on outside, by
Yeah.
the way. If you hear that, I can't
Yeah,
make them not do it.
But the
Continue.
logic of Aunt May was a super spy, and now she's studying to be a nurse.
Yeah, it's
Just-
like all
yeah.
the stuff that they cram in for like Aunt May to do in this movie, where it's like she's going to nursing school and she's got to like do the laundry and then she's got to like pay for Peter's. It's like
Again, I like
I get that
Sally
there's-
Field as Aunt May, though. I think she doesn't get a lot to work with, but
Sally
I think
Field
she's
didn't
fun.
like herself as Aunt May. Yeah,
yeah, she
really?
but-
She didn't? I liked her.
Oh, yeah,
I
there
thought she
was-
was fun.
Yeah, and I'll say like in theory, I don't have a problem with Aunt May like having something like in the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans where it's like in Spider-Man 2 especially where she's like putting the home up for sale and she's like gotta get the bank closed.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
this stuff in theory sounds really boring. Like why would this be in a Spider-Man movie? But like it's all like legitimate human drama.
Yeah,
that
it's
comes
legitimate
from
human
those.
drama, but they pull on that string constantly. They do it
Let me
in
just
every
say
fucking
that-
movie, and it gets fucking old. And like every time fucking what's her butt is on screen, the old fucking lady. She's like, oh, God. She's like the woman from fucking Thinner, like the
But that's-
gypsy woman that makes him thinner. I'm sorry, we
it's a
can't say-
man that
Romani
makes
woman
him thinner. One.
that makes him thinner. Oh, whatever.
Two. Also, I think that's closer. I mean, I think that's closer to Aunt May in the comics. I think Sally Field's closer to Aunt May in the comics too. I think either way, it's better than Marissa Tomei just being objectified and left at home.
Yeah,
Either
It's-
MCU movies of damn, she's got a nice ass for your
Hot
aunt.
mommy Milky's Marissa Tomei.
yeah. She's so fucking hot though. I
Her
can't-
biological clock wasn't going as fast as she thought it was.
Oh, Lord. Okay, we have so much to get through here.
Yeah, like
Peter Parker has parents, and they want you to know about.
yeah,
them.
that's the thing. Let's backtrack a little bit of like what went on in the
boy.
first movie, and like especially with this parents subplot because that was like the main selling point of
that
the
was
first
such
movie.
a big deal. Yeah, that, like they have like secret origins that are like important, and so the first movie opens with them abandoning him, which that's all they're doing is they're abandoning him, and they don't seem that sad about it either. They drag Peter to Martin Sheen's house, and they're like, you stay here, and then they leave, and they're like science things, and the dad was like studying a spider or some shit, foreshadowing stupidly, and then. Yeah, then, Spider-Man happens. And then, like, all the Spider-Man stuff happens, like Uncle Ben dying. But, like, they throw in that parent thing, and, like, they allude to it throughout the movie that, like, there's this mystery there. Your father was a very secretive person, Peter. He kept he did a lot of things that we don't know about, which is, like, so vague that, like, they definitely did not figure out what it actually was that they were doing.
Yeah, and then and then this movie opens up where there's like a high-speed airplane action sequence where his father's on the plane and he's like uploading this thing, which is it the thing that he's uploading, like the video that he finds in the subway station? Like, is that what he
Nope.
was
No,
uploading?
because
no
that's
fucking
like
clue.
in his cellar. Because you hear Peter at the end, and Peter wasn't on that plane.
No,
so-
I'm saying like, did he have that video and then like he uploaded it when he got onto the plane? Because like, I don't know. Also, why would you wait when
Maybe.
until you're on the plane to do that? But also, but that's the thing. If it wasn't that video, then what was he up? What was so important that this needed to open the movie?
No
that-
idea. I still don't know what it was that he was doing
And we
there.
never will.
And it was like 10 minutes long. It is not like a short scene.
And it's like if you need like an opening action sequence, it's like literally the next second is Spider-Man swinging around and like
Fighting
chasing
Rhino.
cars and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like you could have just
the best
started
part
the
of
movie.
the movie.
I will say that like I said, like the one solid really great moment of the movie is like that minute-long opening section of him swinging around. I was like, that's like
really dope.
I was like, yeah, this is like a really great like intro cinematic of Spider-Man swinging around. And I think that like a lot of like the swinging animations in this movie look good, like this like Spider-Man swinging around.
Yeah,
it's like, but it's like there's not enough of it. Like we said, after that Rhino chase, there's like a tiny montage, and then there's no action for like at least another 45 minutes, and then after the Times Square scene, it takes it to like an hour until we get to like the next action scene at the end.
It's just like all subplot and 5 different subplots almost, and it's just
I mean, and then again, like we have this thing of them trying to set everything up. At a certain point, we are juggling the birth of Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, what looks like a Kraven the Hunter reference, Vulture. Also,
we have Electros.
They set up. Did I say Black Cat? Because Black Cat.
Yeah, Black Cat. Yeah, so we have Black Cat. We have Harry Osborn needs blood. We have
Harry Osborn needs blood.
We have like he has to find his dad.
Yeah.
We have Aunt May who's like doing stuff.
Nursing school.
Yeah, we got the other Oscorp stuff. We got Gwen
Gwen's
Stacy
going
going to
England.
Oxford. Like
Peter trying to find his dad.
We said that one, but you wouldn't know it.
No, well,
because it all
it's worth
just is a
saying
mess.
twice because it keeps fucking happening. I keep thinking like we're like gonna like drop the storyline, and it keeps happening.
And
it's
then
like-
he doesn't even come back to life like he was supposed to.
yeah, honestly, like that deleted scene of his dad like meets him, and then it's like, why would you even shoot that? Like,
yeah, I want to. Oh man,
no, not
The
even
Amazing
just from that
Spider-Man
scene, but
2.
from the finished movie, which doesn't even have that
Yeah.
scene in it. What do we discover about the parents?
Literally nothing.
It's like
His
what?
mom had a bad haircut and his dad was a scientist.
It's his dad came up with like some science experiment that turned people into spiders. It's like, what the shit? We know who Spider-Man is. That we could see that happening.
I
We
don't-
didn't.
They really wanted to pull his origin to like the center of the franchise. Like they wanted it to be a like big conspiracy thing, and it doesn't need to be. And I feel like acting like Peter Parker is like a chosen one of some kind really takes away from like what is good about Spider-Man.
No, and then like because like the whole thing with the first movie, I think like the Dark Knight aesthetic that they were chasing because of like that was like the trend of the time, and it's like you like dark and gritty, and you were saying how you watched the first movie and you're like, wow, this looks so it doesn't mesh at all.
looking.
And then like this movie comes out and in like post Avengers and Marvel and stuff, and now it's like the tone is shifted, it's like brighter colors, we have more jokey winking dialogue, and we have like shared universe stuff. So it's like, to me, it's like I've always like just seen through like this just like this cynicism of like trying to chase whatever trend was popular at the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like just completely going against like the vision that you had for it initially. Even though like that first movie, I mean, it's not much better than this, but it's like if they at least, I don't know, if they had like kept a consistent like thing that they were trying to do, I don't know. Because that's the thing is like people saw this movie and they're like, what is this series anymore?
Yeah.
Like, and that whole thing with Gwen Stacy's death at the end, where it's like, after like you say like how does his death affect him going forward?
It doesn't.
And,
That's so annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the end of the movie, he's back to being Spider-Man again, and it's like that death meant nothing. Like it just felt like a thing to do because it's a famous comic book thing.
I mean, like I think if you wanted to make it a thing, you roll credits on it. Like you kill her and then just you cut to credits, and then like you set up the expectation that you're going to deal with the fallout of this in the next movie.
But that's another thing about this series, is that it feels like everything is just set up for the next movie. Because the first movie covers nothing but the bare basic bones, like how did Spider-Man get his powers, origin, that we already kind of covered in the Sam Raimi movie.
Definitely.
And then this one,
fully
it's like, oh, what are we hinting towards? What villains are going to come next? It's like, what about the villains that are in this movie?
Yeah.
What are we going to do with them? Because they all three of them get wasted for like literally nothing. Like
it's a big waste, especially when you have such like an amazing casting like Paul Giamatti as the Rhino. Let me tell you something about this. It is fucking transcendent. He yells his character's name
not
5
just-
minutes. His full fucking name. He is driving a truck down the street super fast, and he yells, "I am Alexei Sistevich!"
And then at the end of the
And then
movie,
they cut away.
And then at the end of the movie, he comes out in a big rhino suit, and then he
Yes, and
screams,
declares-
"I am the rhino! I will crush you! I crush you and I kill you!"
Does Jamie Foxx ever call himself Electro in the movie?
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like that's something he did.
He
in the
does.
trailers.
There was a part where he's where he's being interrogated by Dr. Kafka or whatever, and he's like, "Don't you know who I am? I'm Electro. Da 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 da. He killed you. He's coming for you, Spider-Man."
Oh my god, the music. This was the most insane thing. Jamie Foxx's
I'm the bad
superpowers talk to him, I guess, and they're like, he's a piece of shit, fucking kill him. But they do it in song, like he's about to start rapping, and he never starts rapping.
Imagine if that's what they did in Joker.
I never noticed that until this watch through, by the way, because it's pretty low. I guess I had never paid attention to it, but yeah, there's literally like a chanting that starts as the music is building up. It's like,
With
they
lyrics.
just shot at you. You should kill them. You have electricity. It's not any more clever
You
or
hate
smarter than that.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man is cool sometimes, but now he seems like he doesn't like you. You should shoot him with your electric web things. Not webs. Anyway, that they literally do that until like a beat drops, and that's Junkie XL fucking fucking crushing it. The 2014-ish
Again,
composer.
trends of like what's popular
In
music,
accompaniment
dubstep.
with Hans Zimmer.
Philip Phillips, he's the biggest thing with the kids
Oh,
these
that's
days.
right. He worked with Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, Hans Zimmer did the score.
With a sweet Junkie XL
Proof
feature.
that Hans Zimmer is not flawless.
And then he works with him again in Batman v Superman.
Who does?
Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL.
Oh yeah.
Team up once more. And then they never spoke again.
Well, because once you get
It's not going to get better
You
than
don't
that.
need anything
Yeah.
else.
You can say whatever you want about both those movies, but that theme song fucking slays. It is bona fide classic.
I mean,
Cody
it's
just
in
said I
Wonder
knew
Woman
that would
too,
come up.
which is great. So
Well, that's the Wonder Woman.
Mark pointed out that Electro is a literal simp at the beginning. And Jordan wants to know, Mike, why does your Electro sound like Dennis Rodman?
Wait, Dennis Leary?
Dennis Rodman.
Oh,
Dennis Rodman. Not Dennis Leary, who's back as a ghost.
who pops up to just like to
The
look
hologram.
disapprovingly.
The hologram of Dennis Leary. It's the same Tupac hologram. I don't
somebody
believe he showed up to
couldn't
set.
rescue him.
Yep.
Do you think that in the end of the movie, when like Gwen Stacy died, like, do you think that like when he's crying over her corpse, you'd see Dennis Leary's ghost like looking at him, and then you just see Gwen Stacy's ghost
And
like
they're both
walk
just,
next
like-
to him and look at him?
No, yeah, like he shows up like, I fucking told you this would happen. I said exactly this. Why did we talked? You were there. You agreed. I saw you, motherfucker.
But we forget it was Gwen's decision to be there.
And her father
It
knew you
was.
can't let that girl make decisions.
Yeah, she makes terrible decisions.
She's a bad decision
as a
maker.
woman and a human being, she should be allowed to make decisions. As a really dumb person, no.
Who's somehow a scientist.
Who's
but
somehow really
hasn't
smart, yeah.
left the world's most evil company.
she needs that
Despite
Oxford.
almost being killed by the lizard.
Yeah, if Lewis, if a giant lizard attacked you at Panera Bread,
Oh no, I'd be so out of there. I'd throw all the bread at it. I had like a short assistant manager, like he would be getting thrown. Absolutely.
It's
I would
almost
help
as-
him trash the place if that's all he was doing. If he was just like kicking shit over and like passing through, I'd be like, yeah, fuck this place. You're
almost
right.
as bad as those poor Krispy Kreme employees when Rita Repulsa came to town.
I made $7.25 working at Panera, and I
Yeah.
worked there for 3 years, and I did not get a raise. I wasn't a good employee, but you know, still, I sure I didn't show up sometimes, but what can you do? I'm just
so
quirky
yeah,
like
so
that.
Electro is a simp.
Electro is
Yeah.
a huge spider simp. Yeah,
It's honestly, I don't think that there's not a single male in this movie that doesn't give off creepy stalker vibes.
You're very right.
We got
probably worst of all
Spider-Man
is
swinging
Harry.
around looking at Emma Stone after he's like he's already broken up with her twice because he realized
But
that like,
remember,
oh, I have
she
to keep her
broke up
safe.
with him.
She's like, I am breaking up with you now. It's like,
Which I like that. I think some of the stuff about their relationship really works. I think that's what works the most probably out of the franchise is the Gwen and Harry, Gwen and Peter stuff. That works out really good. The Harry stuff is
Harry
a
is
different
like
story.
Harry.
So Dane DeHaan talks like this the whole movie. He's like,
I need my blood, Spider-Man.
is she a model
Blood
student?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, no.
The
It's,
part
he's
when
really
he like
gross.
flipped the table, he's like, "You're a fraud, Spider-Man."
The worst like ADR fucking bullshit.
That's the thing. I want to know why did he get into the Spider-Man costume, go to his house just to tell him, "Hey,
I'm not giving you blood."
He should've just
Well,
brought it
he's
up.
still trying to protect his identity. It makes sense to me, and like he doesn't want to keep getting like asked about it.
But that like adds insult to injury when Peter's like, I don't know Spider-Man, and then it's like, hey, I heard you want my blood.
Are you fucking victim shaming Spider-Man right now?
But that's the thing. Like, why couldn't it have just been like, "Oh, you know Spider-Man? You took his pictures." He's like, and then he says, "He's like, I don't know him. I just took pictures for him." He's like, "Well, you could find him." And like maybe come back later on. He's like, "Where's Spider-Man?" He's like, "I don't know. I'm looking for him. I'm doing
he's
my
like,
best."
I don't have his home at. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. He didn't try enough to be like, no. I took.
There's also-
What do you think? I have a cell phone number? That's not how it works.
But yeah, that's like the easiest out you could
Yeah.
get because it's like, I'm looking, and then just don't visit him as Spider-Man. Just don't.
I don't have a contract with him. There weren't lawyers involved. He said, "Hey, kid, you want to take some pictures?" And I said, "Sure."
J. Jonah Jameson won't buy his pictures, but like the fucking New York Times does apparently.
Yeah. J. Jonah Jameson, who has a brilliant cameo through email. You know what? In my head, it's still J.K. Simmons. Like when you imagine who's on the other end of those emails.
In Spider-Verse, when they do J. Jonah Jameson again, it will be J.K. Simmons.
Oh,
Yeah.
and did they say that they're gonna do that?
No, but
Oh,
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, and and
That's the thing
He's
that
back.
connects all the Spider-Verses. J.K. Simmons is Spider-Man.
do you think we're gonna get a live action Spider-Verse movie? Because like that is a thing that is talked about a lot. And like I used to think Sony was not stupid enough for that, but like I think they're stupid enough, and I think it could work out well.
I mean,
it's gonna be a bad movie.
I think
as
that they
long-
want to keep with the animated one right now because that was really good.
I
and worked
think
with them.
as
Right
long
now,
as
but-
it's like I'm sorry about these hiccups. As long as it's like a sequel to the animated, like if it's the animated, but then Miles goes to like the Raimi verse and then it's live action and the guy who voices
God.
Miles
Can you
plays
imagine
live
them
like it's
moving into-
enchanted, like it's enchanted.
No, it's so gross. I hate that. I hate that idea so much. Bad. No more of you. I'm muting your microphone.
Aw.
You're in tie now. Get the dunce cap. Get the dunce cap and put it on Jack. He's done. He's done.
He's done.
He's done.
You lied to me. You shot at me. You muted me.
Now drop the beat. It's pretty much what that sounds like. Okay, there's still some more ground to cover here. Venom was danced around a lot. We kept getting teases leading up to this movie. There was lots of teasing about Venom going on. It seemed to be like the ultimate Venom, and then the cartoon at the time that Venom was first Harry Osborn. So it seemed like before it was very, very clear that he was the Green Goblin, it seemed like he was going to be Venom for a second.
Which would have been a better fit.
Way better,
because,
yeah.
And also, the fact that they're just gonna like skip over Norman Osborn and go right to Harry as the Goblin, it's like,
Yeah.
one, why would you do that? Norman is clearly the more interesting Goblin.
Yeah. Oh my God, can we talk about the Goblin disease? Because that's fucking crazy. So we're immediately introduced to the concept that Goblinism is genetic. And Chris Cooper is dying in bed, and he's Norman Osborn, and he has these gross little
Green
Halloween Town 2
fingernails.
Calabar's Revenge fucking fingernails. They're so gross, and he's like all scaly and shit. He's not fully green. Apparently they don't go that far.
None of them get fully green.
Yeah, they didn't even do that with Harry Osborn. It's like, what's the point?
Abomination.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point of having him look like all scabby and stuff? If you're not just gonna like make him look like a Green Goblin at that
In the
point.
sequel, Norman's head also was going to be still alive and like on a robot goblin body.
In the Richard
so
Nixon jar from Futurama.
maybe he'd have that little goblin cap, and that's like, what's keeping
I
him alive.
so wish we got these stupid movies now. Like back then, I was upset because I was like,
Aunt May
like
the
this,
movie
these are my
sounds
Spider-Man
dumb.
movies. Like this is all I get. Like I need this. And now I'm like, I've had a few good ones. Like I want to see the shitty ones now. Like show me the Amazing Spider-Man 3. If fucking Andrew Garfield just stood up to greet the president of Sony, there would have been an Amazing Spider-Man 3, and Tom Holland would have never been cast as Spider-Man. That's
See,
a butterfly effect,
Is
but
that
still,
like an actual?
that's an actual
thing?
thing. They were preparing to. They were getting ready to announce the movie at like a big press conference in Japan, like for like a Sony event. And the night before, they were supposed to meet with the president. And when they did, he didn't stand up to greet them, which I guess is the proper thing. And the guy was like really, really mad. And then at the press conference, he didn't show up. He said he was sick. And so they canceled it altogether. And that's why we don't have an Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Chad move, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he clearly, after a certain point, like he stopped
Yeah.
giving a shit about being in the series.
Because
and,
everyone
like,
dumped on him for it. Like, it wasn't doing him any favors career-wise, really. Like, it didn't give him many places to go. And I think we see that with how his career went. Like, he got really tied to this.
Yeah.
This was his big break. Like, Social Network was such a good start for him. He could have had a completely different career trajectory if he didn't want to become Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which, of course, like at the time, too, like that role is so coveted. Like, there hasn't been a million Spider-Mans. There's been one, and America adores that man for whatever reason, even though he's disgusting. Like,
not Tobey Maguire as a person specifically.
no,
But-
but him as a person, also, he sounds like a fucking asshole.
No, yeah, no, I'm saying
he's a
as
real
a person,
monster of a
don't love
person.
him that much, but you know, as
I
As a
like
Peter
his
Parker,
Spider-Man
Terrible.
Peter.
Terrible.
But you know who did get shit on, but is coming back anyways? Good old Ben Affleck.
Yep, we got our Batfleck back. I'm
yeah,
happy
update
about
from
it.
last week. This would have been
Yeah.
really helpful if this
Yeah.
news came out a little. I saw some tweet. It was like Ana de Armas must be working wonders for this man's life.
She's just like, just do it. You'll get paid, and then they'll leave you alone. Like
Wait,
they'll leave
who?
you alone.
Ben
They're
Affleck.
together.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ben
yeah,
Affleck
big
and Ana de
time.
Armas. They've been an item for a while.
That makes
you know how many pictures?
a lot of weird.
You know how many
sense.
pictures on Twitter I see of them like walking, holding hands with COVID
Yeah.
masks
Oh,
on, eating
boy.
ice cream and kissing in public, and
I
Matt
would-
Damon's just sulking in the
I know.
background.
I was gonna
like-
say. I hope Matt Damon gives him some kisses when he gets home tonight. You know what I just thought? What if Richard Parker was Venom in the third movie? What if like that's how he survived the plane crash? Was like because of the symbiote?
I would hate that. That's really stupid.
Yeah.
I hate that, and it's bad. And that should never happen. And if it did happen, I would be like really, really upset. Really upset. Like that would be really where I draw the line with the ridiculousness of
I'm
this.
just upset anytime anyone other than Eddie Brock is Venom. So.
Yeah, I don't love it. I can deal with it. I like Flash Thompson enough.
I
I'm
don't
still
like.
down for that.
I don't like the Harry as Venom thing though. I don't like it when they did it in the cartoon.
No?
And
It didn't bother me, but I wasn't like super into it.
yeah, I wasn't.
I can see
Yeah,
Dane
they-
DeHaan
Yeah, there's
as like
them
emo boy
doing
though.
couple stuff.
It makes sense that they're a couple. I don't know why, but it does.
Anna de Armas and
Anyways.
Ben Affleck is what we're referring to. By the
yes,
way.
yes. Dane
In
DeHaan
case you
and Ben
lost track
Affleck.
of that golden
Uh,
nugget. Mike, you wanted to show us some
what's
stuff.
so funny though? Dane DeHaan got this, and this ruined his career. Josh Trank did Fantastic Four a year later. That killed his career.
Yep.
Poor, just
But
anyone
Josh
involved
Josh
with
Trank came
Chronicle.
back with Capone, so we're fine.
Michael B. Jordan was
now
in
on
Chronicle
Prime.
and Michael B. Jordan was in the Fantastic Four movie also.
Yes,
Yep.
he was.
He was too bright.
Oh wait, here's a great.
All right, so
here's a
this is
great
a
clip.
thing that you fucking sent me.
It's like my Uncle Kagi once said, with great power comes great big booty bitches. It's like
Yeah, let's just do it
my
one more time.
Uncle Kagi once said, with great power comes great big booty bitches.
And just one
Kagi
second.
once said,
So
with
who
great
is his uncle?
power, Uncle Kagi once said, with great
Paggy?
power comes
Okay.
Uncle Cagney.
So
Like
this thing
James
is
Cagney.
hashtag Fortnite. Does this have anything to do with Fortnite?
I guess maybe someone used like the Fortnite mod to create
There's a
Kermit the Frog in a
Kermit the
Spider-Man
Frog
costume.
Spider-Man Fortnite mod.
To
That's so
say with
specific.
great power comes great big booty bitches.
Which no one's been able to disprove. So one of the worst things to come out of this, there's a big marketing campaign around this movie, like a notoriously big one, and this fucking commercial happened, which doesn't really...
It's clips from the movie, and you're like, all right, Spider-Man swinging around. What's he swinging to?
Yeah. Definitely Andrew Garfield in that suit. And this is an advertisement for Evian water. Keep that in mind. This is an advertisement for Evian water. I just like... If you're listening right now, it's Spider-Man looking into the reflection of a mirror in which he's a tiny little Spider-Man and they're dancing together. It's pretty...
And they're jumping rope.
Batmite found his new idol.
I want to see where they drop the Evian logo. Like, see how...
Yeah, Cody, you're right. It's cute. But why is it happening? It doesn't... Cute is not a reason for something to happen. This is pretty fucking miserable.
Wait, I want to see how they drop the Evian
How does
logo.
it? Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, because there got to be a reason why it's... Yeah, Evian
Oh,
water.
yeah.
There
Well,
it
you
is.
see how those things connect. Drink Evian pure and natural. So I have a
boy.
theory. I think the Sony people like put together a thing to like pitch using this movie to market your products to people, and like they sent it around, and it was this thing, and then they sent it to Evian, and Evian was like, "Yeah, we'll take it," and they're like, "No, this is just like like an idea, like something you could do with your brand. We see you can have fun with Spider-Man as a character," and they're like, "No, we'll take the video."
You know what I'm
And then we'll
realizing
put our
now?
logo on it.
Yeah, because I am realizing now it's like a very cute Japanesey kind of thing to do. I feel like
it's pretty Japanese.
it's pretty Japanesey.
Oh, fuck my butt.
My
All
friend
right.
Anthony has made it a hobby of his to go on YouTube and to search for American actors in Japanese commercials and make a giant playlist of them.
Yeah, there's some pretty like insane ones out there, aren't there? Am I like?
Yeah.
Isn't there like a Scarlett Johansson one?
Yeah, they get like they also I think the most famous one that is famous to us is Jennifer Connelly doing I think it's something for like some phone company as like Philips or something, and then like the commercial ends with her like saying into the mic, she's like, "This is Jennifer," and then you're like, "Be my wife." Like,
Jordan says Nick Cage did one, and Cody says, "Imagine it being Spider-Ham instead of Chibi Spider." I would watch that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's out of context and meaningless, but yeah, I'll take more Spider-Ham stuff.
and it's marketing Arby's.
Yes, and we're supporting struggling comedian John Mulaney.
Yeah.
in
Is
the
he struggling now?
No, I'm kidding.
He's been making the.
He's massively successful.
What
No.
if John Mulaney had just played regular Peter Parker? What if we just got like a full adult Spider-Man movie with like John Mulaney?
I think you look back to like the New in Town days, and it's like he's young enough to look like a Peter Parker.
Yeah, I don't know, but like you might as well throw a bundle of sticks in a Spider-Man costume. Like there's not. Sorry, John Mulaney. I don't have any venom for you. You're a nice man, I'm sure. I
don't have any venom.
Venom.
John Mulaney is Carnage. Well, will you look at this? I just got all these severed heads.
This is too many severed heads for me to deal with right now.
That was really good.
Yeah, yours is better. Than
You've been
mine.
really working on that. Do you do that? Is that what you've done over quarantine? You've
Just practicing my voices.
John
I've got,
Mulaney.
I got the perfect Kronk and the perfect Plankton.
Do Plankton.
I've done Plankton on the
He's
show. I think
done
a couple.
Plankton
I
in
did.
a
Well,
it on
I
the
don't
show.
remember it, and I'm asking him to do it again.
I'll do the impression if you give me the Krabby Patty formula.
That's like really good. Look at you. You
feel
could have
like-
really been something, Mike.
Patrick Warburton.
I could have been
a
one
good
of those
Rhino.
YouTubers that does like 100
Yeah.
impressions in 10 minutes. Like,
Here's Stewie from Family Guy singing Fallout Boy.
ooh, Lewis.
Oh, God, don't do that. I have you right
Fat
in my
man.
ears. Oh, my God.
Brian, are you working on your novel?
You're working
on your novel.
Oh, well, I said before when Sarah gave you that cheesecake, I was like,
No,
oh,
you just-
Jack, you're gonna put some Cool Whip on that cheesecake? You're gonna put some Cool Whip?
Jordan, I'm sorry we're moving in on your territory as far as the impressions
Wait,
go.
Mike, do your Lois Griffin.
Ah! Suck the dick till it comes.
No. Can we play that? What is that? How do I look that up?
Oh no, it's on Instagram. I'll send you the link, but
All right, it's probably not fit for human
no,
consumption.
no.
Oh wait, we need to look up.
it's
the...
NSFL, not safe for life.
Wait, can we look up the Family Guy clip where Peter dresses as Spider-Man to try to have sex with Lois?
Sure. Wow, we're really abusing our ability to show
yeah,
you
now
videos.
that we can do this. Now that we can do cutaway gags.
Let's see.
It's that second one.
How is that clothesline holding his weight?
Yeah, there's no way. What's it attached to? Family Guy's still fucking funny.
Oh, back when they could act like the two of them loved each other
Yeah.
in any capacity.
And this is when they try to get them to start. I actually just this is so stupid. I just downloaded and watched Stewie Griffin: The Untold Story, which is what this is from, the direct-to-DVD quote-unquote movie that Family Guy
three
did.
episodes.
Which is
that
3
were-
episodes back-to-back that was never released in a theater. It was just thrown on DVD. And I had that DVD.
It was thrown on the PSP UMD.
Yeah, that's where you fucking went to watch real shit.
The
I had
video
that. I
now.
had Spider-Man 2 on that. So that. There you go.
The only I had did you ever have a video now?
No, my cousin had one. I've never had one.
Honestly,
myself.
it's the biggest waste of money for a child.
It
you
seemed
get
like it.
You get one black and white episode of an episode of SpongeBob or Fear Factor,
and it's like a 10-minute episode. It's
Yeah.
not
in
full-
terrible quality. You can't watch it without headphones. It's really just.
And
I
it costs like
remember-
$80.
The Game Boy Advance, they would have little cartridges that would have like 3 episodes from a Nickelodeon show on it, and it was like, like short cartoons, like a segment from SpongeBob, a segment from Fairly Odd Parents.
Right.
The SpongeBob Pizza one was on the one that I got. I have been overexposed to that episode so many
It's the
times.
best one. It's one of the best ones.
You ever see? There was one
Fan
video
Geeks
I
is the
saw. It
best
was
one.
the pizza delivery episode of SpongeBob vocoded to Gangsta's Paradise,
No, that sounds like a nightmare.
and I'm not gonna ask you to put it on.
This isn't. We'll cover Gangster's Paradise on our Sonic the Hedgehog episode when that inevitably happens.
On your ukulele.
I like
oh,
that
by the way,
movie
do you
too.
have anything on your ukulele that you've learned for us this week?
No, I tried to learn the Spider-Man theme song, but I could not stop laughing the whole
we couldn't,
time.
because we didn't get enough of the Spider-Man theme song in the past 2 hours. Of
Oh
watching
my
this
god,
movie.
they really do abuse the funny Spider-Man song cameo in this movie. It fucking happens every 5 minutes.
and
his
it's like every time
ringtone.
it's his ringtone. So every time in the movie that his phone rings,
They play the
it's-
whole thing, yeah. The whole thing.
And then
All
while
three
when he's
verses.
pantsing Rhino, he's whistling it to himself. It's like
So he came up with his own theme song.
Yeah.
That's how creepy this Peter is.
either that or
Cody
what I assume-
remembers having a video now for Jackie Chan Adventures in SpongeBob, which is pretty cool. Jackie Chan Adventures is really good. Did you guys ever watch Jackie
Yeah,
Chan
Jackie Chan Adventures is great.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, I went and looked on how to. I went online to try to see if anyone uploaded an episode of SpongeBob from Video Now, and I could watch it in
Oh god.
And I found it.
Really?
We found it, and it's like the screen is cracked, and it's grainy black and white, and the audio is
Ooh.
scratching. It's like,
God, do you remember when they used to release cartoons on fucking Game Boy Advance cartridges?
he just said that. He was literally just
Yeah.
talking about
Oh,
that for the past 5 minutes.
was not listening to you.
I'm valued.
I thought we were still talking about the Video Now all this time.
Uh,
Anyway, we are getting a little long in the tooth, and we do have to decide on our next movie. Let's do some closing thoughts on the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
It feels like we were not talking about that movie for most of it, but
We
I feel like what
May
can
have gotten
you
a
talk
tad
about? Because there's
distracted.
no answers that this movie
yeah,
gives
there's
you.
definitely not
It's
much of a cohesive
all-
plot. And again, this is a movie I enjoy.
Like, it's trying to build up Peter and Gwen's relationship. Gwen dies, so,
Yeah, so it doesn't
end
really
that
matter.
story. Trying to build the Sinister Six, not really
not
doing
relevant
it.
because the next movie
Trying to build
happens.
his parents' backstory, not doing it. So it's just a movie without
And you
any
have
answers.
I think you got some cool fights with Electro. I think all the action scenes are really great. I think he does really cool, amazing Spider-Man-y
I think
things.
they're just surprisingly brief. I never remember
They
them
are
being
brief.
this short.
yeah, they're short, and I also think that aside from
I'm not going to fight with these people,
Yeah.
Cody. Don't get me wrong. He says, as the only champion of the movie, I was expecting more cheerleading. No, I can't do it anymore. Not with these two. I knew what I was getting myself into here.
Yeah, but also it's with the action scenes, it's the swinging around stuff is okay, but it's like when he's like fighting Electro at the end and they're just like flying and floating through this like grid thing, and
With
it's like
bad CG.
yeah, it just looks like overly video gamey, and then like the fight with the Green Goblin, it's like we literally like that was in the whole trailer. Like I don't even remember that fight having an ending. Like he just like jumps and saves Gwen Stacy. It's like,
and then he just knocks a bunch of boxes down on the Green Goblin.
Yes, yeah,
That's what takes
that's
him
it.
out.
He's just like, oh god, no, like in the corner.
and then like the slow motion shot of her like falling, and then like he shoots the web,
The
and
little
the web
hand.
grows a hand, and it's like, oh no, I'm crying. It's like it's so like they're playing it up
is-
so ridiculously.
I think it's effective. I think that stuff is effective. I was sad when Gwen Stacy died. I like the way that scene played
that
out.
the first time I saw this, I was too.
Yeah, it's I think they do it right. If obviously if the rest of the movie is marred by these things for you guys, it's gonna be hard to take that seriously at the end. But I think they pull it off pretty well. I think
But then,
that's as good of a guest scene as you can hope for.
And then like the graduation speech when she's like, "We're all gonna
So
die
specific.
someday."
She's like,
And-
we're all gonna get dropped from a clock tower one day and try
But
to
she got her,
almost saved by our boyfriends.
Someday when your boyfriend breaks your neck,
Yeah, it's
you
like-
can look
it's like,
back and look.
Peter, if you're
Remember-
listening to this, I'm already dead.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna die, but we have to live for today, or whatever. It's like, what kind of speech is this for a graduation? It's like,
It's terrible.
You know what my valedictorian's graduation speech was? He said something like, there's this phrase going around, and I think that we could all relate to it. It's called YOLO.
No, yeah. And then everyone beat the shit out of that
Yeah.
kid. And no one
They
thought it was weird. His parents were
definitely-
like, get him.
Did any kids at your graduation get booed?
No, I wouldn't
No.
go. I didn't go to my graduation,
Whoa.
actually.
But what I was gonna say was they definitely created the character of Spider-Gwen just off of these movies.
Well, yeah, because like there, this is at the point where there are probably like a lot of like think pieces and stuff about like how Gwen Stacy's a useless character because she only exists to die and she doesn't have any sort of agency as a character.
And
Even though it's like you could say in this movie it's like she flipped the switch or she ran to the building or whatever, and that's her agency. It's like it's still like not an
No,
exciting.
I mean,
also
character.
think it
realistically,
was-
this is not a movie about. It isn't a Gwen Stacy
Yeah.
movie. It is a Spider-Man movie. I think to give the
No, I'm
love
just
interest of the
saying that, like-
superhero as much due as they gave her is really impressive.
I said that because I think they were trying to create some property for Emma Stone to.
Yeah, I think you're
movie.
completely
Yeah.
right. They were definitely talking about a Spider-Gwen movie, 100%. And
Yeah.
because Emma Stone was such a huge star already at the time that this kind of got big.
She's like kind of like
Yes,
the only
big.
like actress who was like big at this time who still has like a consistent career.
Paul Giamatti.
Well, no, I'm saying he
Paul
didn't get
Giamatti.
his start in the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Why?
I
Yes, he
feel like
did.
Meryl Streep has.
He did some small indies, and then he
maintained her direction. You know,
Meryl Streep as Aunt May.
that would be wild and not a good use of her. She is Madam Webber
Yeah.
bust.
She'd
Peter
still
Parker
get
would go to
nominated
a
for
prep
Best
school.
Supporting Actress.
Yeah,
I
you're
want Meryl Streep as the Green Goblin.
That makes sense. Harry Osborn Green Goblin is gross looking. We know this.
Yeah, he's
I prefer it genuinely to how Raimi Goblin looks. That costume is fucking insane.
I think it's like it's fun and cheesy
It's
and
not
like this
fun.
kind of like
It's cheesy.
comic
It's
book
not. I
looking.
don't think it's the fun kind of cheesy, to
But
be
Willem
quite honest.
Dafoe elevates it more than Dane frickin' DeHaan.
Oh,
can
totally.
elevate it.
Yeah. I mean, you can take nothing away from Dafoe. He's
Yeah.
incredible.
He is Dafoe.
of the movie.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
friend or Defoe.
All right, we are
remember
about
that
at the
game.
hour mark now, guys. So it's time to see what we're going to be watching next week. Mike, break out that Leah's.
All right, so first up is number 1 is Danny Boyle's Trance. Number 2 is Wes Craven's The Hills Have Eyes. 3 is
good movie.
Weekend. 4
Don't know what that
is my favorite movie, Frances Ha, which we did once before, but in the before times. It's been lost to history, and Jack's never seen it
Yeah.
still. So, number 5 is Out of the Past, and number 6, Bride of Frankenstein.
All right, roll it up. You want to just run them down one more time?
I'll run them down. 1 is Trance. 2 is The Hills Have Eyes. 3 is Weekend. 4 is Frances Ha. 5 is Out of the Past. And 6 is The Bride of Frankenstein.
And we have the dice here, and the
Yay.
winner is...
He had to show it to you. He's really got it.
It's 2.
The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh shit! Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh, I
Wow.
love this movie. Do you guys like The Hills
On
Have Eyes?
Shudder. Have you seen the original? Or
Yeah,
are you
yeah.
thinking- yeah. I love The Hills
I
Have
fucking
Eyes.
love The Hills Have Eyes.
I was thinking of
I
watching
actually
it
like
last
the remake
night,
more,
and
but
I didn't. So good timing.
All right, well, I guess I'll have to watch it.
Start your
Yeah, you'll
7-day
have to watch
Shudder
it
trial.
for this. So yeah, we'll probably be back next week with The Hills Have Eyes. You can see the chat's pretty excited about it. We're watching the original Craven version.
Yeah.
Finally, we're getting back to at least like something like on brand.
Oh, yeah,
even though
super
this is
on
on
brand.
brand and like superhero schlock, but we had 2 weeks back to back of that, and I think we need to
We're ready.
we
We're
need to have a
ready
healthy
get
mix of all of
into
our niches. We got to have like superhero schlock. We got to have like
horror
dumb
schlock
we got to
and
have dumb children's
love
movie.
boy schlock and
Yeah, and then like stupid children's movie. It's like we gotta balance
Yeah.
it all out. We can't just like overload on one after too long.
Yeah.
But
I agree. And boys, where can people find you?
I am Jack on 35mm on Instagram and Jack Patterson on Letterboxd.
I am RMR Cyborg Mike on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. I write for beforethecyborgs.com. I might be picking it up a little bit if movies start, coming out. And then I was also a guest on Next Best Pictures episode on Boyhood. So you can go take a listen to that. It's I think like $1 on Patreon. You get the full episode. So yeah, that's what we're doing now.
Super, super fun stuff. All right. You can find us all on Twitter at @RMRoulette. If you want to know when we're going live on twitch.tv/RMRoulette, that's what it is. You can follow us on there and we will let you know as soon as we know, which often, to be honest, comes down to the wire. But thank you guys so much for joining us in the chat, by the way. Mark, Cody, Jordan, you guys are fucking incredible. We really appreciate you guys showing up and hanging out with us. Doing this with you guys in the comments, I think has just made this show so much more fun to do. So thank you guys for that. Also, check out Jordan's new podcast. That ain't quite... What is it?
That's not all, folks.
That's not quite all, folks. Jordan, drop it in the chat and I'll read it. I'm sorry. I did listen to it for what it's worth. It's very good. It's on my podcast feed now. I'm a subscriber. I love it. Jordan said to you, thanks. Cody is joining us on rmroulette.com. Keep an eye on that. It's not ready quite yet, but it will, it'll be there, and Cody will be there giving you some great film takes, keeping you updated on what's going on with us. And we're super excited to bring him into the RMR family. And as soon as we can figure out Skyping, Cody is going to be on the show. Again, this is all very technically difficult. We're back to a 2-camera setup this time, which is great. But doing a live show is very difficult. And setting all this up and getting it working every time is proven to be a challenge. I just ran a crazy long wire through my house for it. It's a work in progress. So thank you all for bearing through it with us. If you would like to help us out, go to patreon.com/RMRoulette. Subscribe to us. Get yourself some bonus stuff. We did just record before this some Patreon content that I'm pretty happy about, and we have some content backed up too. I think we're gonna release a longer bit, and yes, slightly ashamed of, definitely. So patrons can keep an eye out for that. All right, we will see you next week for Wes Craven's The Hills Have Eyes. Laters. I've never said that before in my life. Laters.
Oh, they said ladies.
Ladies.